Okay, I think we are live. I am 2 minutes behind. I'm sorry, I had a little difficulty here. Looking for the guys at Woodnose. I see them. All right, I'm gonna wait for their request to join. Come on, guys. Let's see. Invite. Hey, Rich. So fun to have you here this weekend.
Hey.
Yay! There they are. Hi, friends.
Hi. Hey, friend.
This is so great. So we went live together like a year ago in the Facebook group, and a lot's happened. I'm pregnant, and you guys have a new product. So our families are growing.
Yes, exactly.
I'm so excited that we get to talk about that. Sorry?
I think having a baby is probably a little more exciting.
It's all exciting. It's all exciting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think this is such a great time of year to bring you guys back and to chat about SACRÉ and also your new product. Because I just think of it as so fall and warm and cozy and, you know, and this season into the holidays. Not only do I think of just Vermont as quintessential fall and the feeling of getting cozy and the woods and but the just your drink and with coffee and you can drink it on its own, but you can drink it mixed up. So we're going to get into all of that. Let's just start. Okay, so everyone that's new here, since we did go on Facebook last time, now we're on Instagram. I wanted to make sure we're covering our bases. I am Christine Wayne. I am founder of On the Mocks. I live in Charlotte after many years of New York. I am 30 months alcohol free. So I like to say, thank you so much. I like to say I'm a product of the product because non-alcoholic drinks, they keep me sober. They keep me excited to be alcohol free and really have just, you know, saved my life, but also cheers.
Cheers.
I am drinking water today in favor of baby. I don't want to go into the details, but I need a lot more water today. So what do so we have a lot to talk about because I love talking about the story behind the story. And with you guys being from a family farm and you're a husband and husband team, there's such a great story here. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows about you and where you are and where you're going. So if you could tell me just a little bit about you from, I know the story, not only is it on your website, but just from our chats from before, but where are you both from? And what were you doing before Woodnose, before the business of drinks and maple syrup?
Yeah. So thank you again. It's so great to be here with you on Instagram, and we just really enjoy seeing your story, seeing things that, you know, about you all the time on Instagram. So it's so great to be a part of your story. So thank you first for that.
And your wonderful community.
Yeah,
too.
Exactly.
Thank you.
But yeah, Justin and I have quite a history. You know, we met, it was about 10 years ago, and just never really expected it to turn out like this. This was never a part of the plan. You know, I was kind of a military kid. I grew up in Hawaii. And then I ended up in Vermont after I got out of the military. I was actually in the military as well. Ended up in Vermont working kind of like in user experience and design. And that's kind of where I've been, you know, for a while. And Justin, his whole history is Vermont. So you can talk about
that. I come from a 7th, now 8th generation, because I have my nieces and nephews now. Maple sugar operation farming family in Vermont. When I was in high school, my family sold the cows because it wasn't really profitable to be dairy farmer, especially small dairy farmers. Dairy's just gotten so big. And so they started focusing 100% on maple syrup. So that kind of became our lives. My grandfather sugared, my great grandfather sugared. It's kind of been what we've been doing our whole lives. In Vermont, you take care of dairy in the summer throughout the winter, and then when you're not doing fields because there's snow on the ground, you're out there collecting syrup to try to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So my family took the maple sugar operation to a whole new level. We're now tapping 5,000 acres in Vermont in 2 separate towns. I believe we were the largest family-run maple sugar operation maybe in the United States. So it's my parents, my 3 brothers, 2 sisters-in-laws, three nieces and nephews, a 4th on the way.
Yeah.
That is one family business for
Yeah.
sure. So who came up with the idea that says maple syrup cocktail, non-alcoholic drink? Where did that?
Yeah, it took Roger coming into the family to figure this out.
Well, I brought the strange to the family. I brought the weirdness. I was everything about maple I love, but I noticed that, whenever people would post recipes about maple syrup, it was always sweet stuff, and I love the sweet, but we both realized that there's so much more to maple syrup than people are actually getting. And I think this might come from our history of, we both enjoy wine, and Justin actually has worked in the wine industry. And so we have an appreciation for kind of like the terroir, but also, some of those other notes that you get from grape that people, might not recognize in, something that's sweet. So we both were trying to find a way to add to the family business, but we wanted to do it in our own way, and make it weird and interesting. And that was when we started to, what can we do with maple as we can make it into a drink or something like that. And Justin's mother was actually fermenting maple syrup. And I thought, well, there you go. That's the base for this beverage that we want to create. We just needed to add some more complexity. And we went through so many different types of recipes. We were doing all kinds of we were doing some spirits and non-alcoholic spirits and things like that. And then one day we actually had some coffee from a wedding that we went to, and I thought, well, what if we put these together? And that's how it happened.
It was actually a family wedding.
Yeah.
So we took our family maple syrup, and then our cousins who own a coffee shop in Maryland, they were the ones who had the wedding and brought the coffee as a little gift for everybody.
Yeah.
And Roger just had this idea, just what would happen?
Yeah, if we put these 2 together, and it enhanced the flavors of both. It made something better out of than their sole parts. We feel like, and that's kind of how we started.
Yeah, the maple vinegar in the coffee created a whole new array of flavors that you wouldn't get from either, which is kind of a little bit of wine. And we were kind of, having wine all the time. And it's we want something that we can really enjoy that's non-alcoholic, to where you don't have to wake up with a hangover the next day. Something you can enjoy with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. And it's great that you were able to add more family into this large family business. That's special about the coffee. So now tell me, okay, so we've got Roger came into the picture, made it weird. Love that. How long exactly did it take to get the recipe right? And is it kind of consistent every year with new batches of maple syrup? How does that work?
Yeah. Well, I think it took us about a year, right?
I think over
a year?
Almost 2 years by the time we finally had it out.
In the bottle.
In the bottle, ready to go.
Yeah.
So
we were working with a company that kind of, they discovered us, and they helped us basically get it in the bottle. They helped us to get it because we didn't know anything about food science as far as, getting something shelf stable, making sure that it's safe to drink for people. And so they helped us get it in the bottle, and they also helped us to adjust the flavor so they were more balanced, less sweet. Originally, the drink was a lot more sweet, but they convinced us that, people who are watching their alcohol are probably also watching their sugar intake. And so we brought the sugar level down, and then it was just very well balanced. So that took over a year, maybe a couple of years. And then as far as the, the difference between, bottling it, it does have a slightly different flavor every time we put it together.
Yep.
And that's because of the nature of the ingredients we're using. Everything is, sourced either from our family farm or the coffee that we get is from a family business, and it's shade grown and it's, fair trade. So it's not just something that's manufactured in a factory so it tastes the same every time. It's like whatever nature gave us that year, that's what's going in the bottle. So there's always a slight difference every time we bottle it.
Yeah, when you have maple syrup to it, maple syrup is always going to have the same sweetness, but there's many different grades of flavor, and the way the season, how much maple, is it more mapley than it is sweet? Is it sweeter, more mapley? And then once we took that sweetness out and got all these really fun, funky, like there was almost a citrus note in it as well that doesn't come, we realized that SACRÉ is or maple syrup can be very seasonal when you get rid of all that sweetness. So we did that, and is able to be a little bit more bitter, be something that you can sip with, something that you can mix with and create many different cocktails. It's I think Derek Brown, he said that SACRÉ was one of the 5 beverages you want in a bar because it's mixable with everything, and we can agree with that.
That's quite the compliment for sure. Now I know that you guys recommend refrigerating after opening. Does it have what is the shelf life like? Does it age well like a wine does, or does it do you want to kind of drink it for the season?
Yeah, so the cool thing with SACRÉ is, so we don't put any preservatives in it. That's why we say refrigerate out. We want to bring this organic, this all natural, we're using maple syrup that's organic, that's bird friendly, it's all natural. So we wanted to bring that aspect where we're not putting a bunch of stuff into it. It's just purely what comes from the terroir of Vermont, to borrow a wine word. We were able to put together that, and
we heat. How do you call the heat bottling?
So we hot fill everything.
We hot fill.
So as soon as you open up the bottle, it's ready to go. You can drink it. Drink it nice and cold to get those, beautiful aromas out of it. Once it's opened, we say it will last for 30 days. We've seen bottles that go a little more. It just depends on, how much you're using it, where it's stored. But it's not something that you need to drink immediately. Right. And you can age it. So you can grab a bottle, put it away for a little bit, open it back up, and you'll notice that like the coffee notes kind of start to hide to the back, more the chocolate notes come out. You get these earthy aromas. The citrus comes out a little bit more. So we have some bottles that are from 2018, our first vintage. We have a few left, and we opened up one a few months ago, and it was just this whole different thing we've never expected. It was so well balanced. It was.
I mean, you've heard of like aged balsamic vinegar.
Yes.
The longer you age it, the more it changes over time, and we basically have the same thing because it is a vinegar, and we don't really know what it's going to be like in 5 years. We don't know what it's going to be like in 10 years, but we have noticed, if we open up an old bottle, it's like, whoa, you put it next to a fresh bottle, they're completely different.
Right. Awesome. Well, let's talk about those bottles for a second, because it's gorgeous, and I know a lot of thought went into it. Yes, the art, the bottle itself. Tell us a little bit about, how many iterations it went to get it perfect, or was this just like how did that bottle and kind of the art even come together?
No, thank you so much. We did spend a ton of time on the bottle. I mean, we wanted something that was reminiscent of a tree, because much of what we put into the bottle comes from our trees, and we put so much care into our woods. Our woods are Audubon certified, meaning that we don't clear cut the forest to promote the growth of maple trees. We allow all the trees to grow together, and it creates this beautiful biosphere for nesting birds, etc. So that's something that's super important to us. So we wanted to have the bottle, you know, kind of resemble a tree. It's very tall. It's very narrow. It's probably one of the tallest non-alcoholic bottles out there. In
Yeah.
fact, Doug Waters from the Spirited Away store.
Yes.
He's built. I don't know if you noticed, but he's putting together a new shop, and he actually at us and he said, "How tall is your bottle? Because I want to make sure that you know that yours is probably the tallest. I want to make sure that the shelves are tall enough. So use ours as like a test for that." But
that's great, and says a lot about your product. He's thinking
Isn't that
ahead
fun?
to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure no one else's one goes any bigger than this, because you some refrigerators you can just fit it in. It just fits right in. But yeah, so we went through a bunch of different bottles. You know, we didn't have a ton of choices because, again, we wanted one that had like this very clean lines, was reminiscent of a tree. One something was elegant. And then, you know, the label itself, I designed the label. And again, we wanted something that was reminiscent of trees. We wanted something that made you think of the sacred. And so this almost looks kind of like stained glass. It's kind of evoking like a sacred kind of ritual of, you know, going into the woods and taking, you know, the maple from the tree. It's all a part of a ritual that, you know, is time honored in our area and in our family. And so, you know, I think we hit it right. I think we got all those elements in the bottle, but also we wanted to keep it simple too. We didn't want to overdo it, you know, just make it just really kind of elegant and something you could have in your bar cart and go, wow, what's that?
Yeah.
You know,
it's stunning. Are you an artist? Is that a passion as well?
I've been doing design for about 20 plus years. So this is kind of what I do, you know, so I was very fortunate to be able to bring that aspect to our business.
Well, very cool. And so, which probably is a great lead in into your second bottle and second product, which many people don't know about. I personally haven't tried it. This is, we are now entering the CBD or hemp infused department of non-alcoholic beverages, which is exciting to learn about, and would love for you to introduce that and tell us how that came about.
I'll let you start.
So we had some friend from Vermont contacted me that we've known for a while and said, hey, I'm working for this restaurant and they also do CBD. We would love to serve SACRÉ, and also the owners want to chat with you about something. So we sat down. The company is called Zen Barn out of Stowe, Vermont, and they grow all their own hemp. They do CBD infused different offerings at their store, and they also have a restaurant where they will serve CBD infused drinks, food, and things like that. So they contacted us and said, hey, we had this new thing we came up with, how we figured out how to take CBD and make it water soluble, and we want to add it to something. We want to find a cool new brand to partner with. So after a little deliberation and trying to come up with the perfect thing, we decided, instead of going with a new beverage, what about making something that people already love and make it, you know, have a little bit of CBD, you know, to give it, because SACRÉ's kind of like that thing at the end of the night, whether you've been drinking or not, you can have a sip of, have a glass of, and it's just very relaxing. It's low caffeine, low sugar. You don't have to worry about staying hyped up all night. And so we figured this was a perfect way to bring CBD into the fold. So we did, again, lots of testing with them, lots of figuring out how much per bottle. And we've worked at adding terpenes from CBD to create more of a flavor to it. So when you're taking a sip of it, you know, SACRÉ is a very, very powerful beverage as it is. But think like next step. Think like whiskey compared to wine, like something where put some ice into it, put a little bit of club soda into it with a lime wedge or something, and just sit in front of a hot fireplace on a cold day with your book, And it's just something that you can sip, and just like SACRÉ, as you're sipping it, the flavors change. You get these grassy, like very herbal aromas as you're drinking it, and then it warms you as it goes down, and then you breathe out, and you're getting these little notes of maple and this chocolateness from the coffee, and again that citrus that we don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah,
I love that.
so it's called hierba, which is Spanish for grass. We don't actually have a bottle with us right now. It's kind of embarrassing. We sold the bottle that we had. We gave it away to someone.
Yeah.
So, but it's actually being sold by Zen Barn.
Yes.
Yeah. So we partnered with them, and they are selling it, and there are various reasons. It's because of CBD, and there are licenses and legal things that are beyond us, and so. We kind of decided, we're going to let you guys do that part, sell it, because you guys know what you're doing. You're better at that than we are. And so that it's exclusively available through them from their website, and you can find a link to it on our Instagram, etc. But it's definitely like if you have a hard time with SACRÉ, you're probably going to have a hard time with hierba, because it is very strong flavored. SACRÉ is not subtle. It's you don't have to mix it with anything because there's so much flavor going on. But hierba is even more so, because you've got the terpenes, like Justin said, and that's kind of what gives terpenes are what gives hemp and marijuana all those weird different flavors. Like sometimes they taste like bubble gum, sometimes they taste like blueberries or whatever. Those are the things that give them all their distinct flavor profiles, and we put some of those into hierba, and it's just like, wow, it's very strongly flavored.
And the great thing is with SACRÉ, you can take 2 ounces, mix it with a couple things, and create a beverage. In hierba, it will go even further, because 1 ounce, and then you can mix it with some stuff.
Yeah.
You can throw some Diet Coke with it. You can do pomegranate juice, works really good. So many different fun things you can do, but that 1 bottle will make 25 drinks. So make anywhere from 10 to 25 drinks depending on what you have. We just put together these simple SACRÉ martinis here. Right here, 4 ounces in a glass. So a bottle you can have 6 of them. Quick math.
Yeah.
And it's something that will last. You're not going to drink through a whole bottle in one night. Well, maybe you will. For anybody who does that, go for it.
Right.
And it's all the benefits of CBD too. You definitely get that relaxed, kind of chills you out and stuff like that. But you're still under control. You're still, you can function the next day. It's really an awesome thing.
Yeah.
That's great. When did you say? Tell me the pronunciation again. I was like, okay, hierbia.
It's hierba.
Hierba.
Yeah.
Because there's an H, and I'm like challenged with the.
And if you really want, you could roll your R's too if you really feel like it. Hierba. You want to make it extra spicy. It's a little more spicy.
I like it. When did that launch?
Oh my gosh. So we did a soft launch 3 weeks ago, and I don't think we have officially done a hard launch of it, though it's available online. We haven't done a crazy amount of promotion, so you're getting kind of an exclusive here on the Mox of something brand
very cool. We love that. We love all the secrets
Yep.
behind the scene. Do you happen? So I imagine you're focusing then on SACRÉ and your newest product. Is there another recipe in the works that you want to either talk about or not talk about?
We do have something that we're working on. Yep. And it's the next thing, more of my story. So, SACRÉ was, it's about, maple and Vermont, and it's more our next one's going to be more about me and my history.
Right.
So that's all we can say about that.
I love it.
So watch our videos, people. Try to figure out Roger's history, and you'll start getting little bits of hints about what's going on.
That's so fun. Yeah, everyone should be following you on Instagram and I'll drop that information over on Facebook too. Who would you say makes up your largest audience right now? Is it a lot more local? Is it, are you attracting a lot of people that are interested in non-alcoholic drinks, or is it a lot of beverage connoisseurs that are like that also have found SACRÉ as a perfect nightcap?
Yeah.
Is there any way?
We have so many people from all over the country who buy SACRÉ. It's really, we're not big enough to have like a huge marketing campaign. Everything we've done is through social media and word of mouth. Yep. We've been so fortunate to have so many awesome friends and fans who like kind of put the word out there about SACRÉ. It's also people like Julia Bainbridge and Derek Brown who really got out there and in front of all these people and all these tastemakers who have just put us where we are today, and we're just so grateful for that. It's people who are foodies, I think, tend to be more SACRÉ, because you kind of have to have a broader palate, I guess is a good way to say it, because again, the flavors are very intense. There's a lot there. It's not like some of the other offerings in this space that you have to mix it with something for it to be drinkable. And because of that complexity, also it's not something you could drink really fast. You'd be like, oh, I've already finished this drink, and like, because it's so easy to drink. Ours is a little more challenging. It's a sipper, it's a thinker. And so it's people who kind of appreciate that more complex flavor profile, I think is typically our fan.
Yeah, like, fancy bars to even like, now we see a lot of coffee shops who are figuring out, okay, coffee's kind of a morning thing. What do we want to give people like in the afternoon, like when they're getting done work or something, giving them some sort of offering. And we found, multiple coffee shops that are serving SACRÉ now as that. Like we're drinking right now, that martini. So in the afternoon, you can get your coffee and your martini at the same time and still go back to work.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And I mean, as soon as you mentioned foodies, I was like, oh, and goodness. I mean, you guys have won a lot of awards and got some really great media attention that people should note. I'll throw some up into stories, but I have to applaud you for that. And in part, probably because it is so unique that you're doing something so special and creative and, out of the box, right?
We wish we could get it out to more people, but it's just such a limited quantity thing because, to make, one bottle of this, it takes a year and a half of preparation to go. So we're planning a year and a half out ahead of time right now. So, we're releasing it twice a year in extremely small batches. So, we would love to be able to get it out to more people, but it's a unique beverage that's a limited as well.
Yeah. Now you still have. Sorry, go ahead.
So you got to think of it like a wine. Like when the grapes are gone, there's no more wine. It's the same with maple. All the maple in our beverage is we make. Our family makes it.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a season to make the maple syrup, and then it takes a year to ferment it, and then 6 months to a year to aging it, and we age it in bourbon barrels too. That kind of take sharpness off the vinegar aspect to it, and then blending it, and then that's got to kind of sit a little bit before we can go out. So it's it's a long time to get to get a bottle of SACRÉ made and ready to go. So we wanted to offer people, it's a premium beverage. We really want to offer them a premium beverage, not something that can just be mixed up and made within a week and mass produced. This is something that comes from our family.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we know that you have a small quantity, you do still have some for people to purchase, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We plan.
When we say small quantity, we mean like we don't have a warehouse full of these. Warehouses. We do have a good amount. Yeah.
Okay. And I saw one member ask the question: are you available to ship to Canada? Is that possible?
Not quite yet for Canada or the UK. We've had, like I said, a lot of interest, but quantity-wise, we can barely deal with what we need to do here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And then, so, you know, figuring out customs. We have been approached by a few distributors, but again, it's quantity. It's, you know, it's not something, you know, they want 10, 20 pounds. You know, I think we do about a couple hundred cases twice a year. So, like I said, it's it's extremely limited quantity.
Right.
So,
Right.
eventually, you know, with some planning, we'll get there. But you have to plan them a year and a half to 2 years out. Take some time until you start seeing us in Canada and the UK.
Yeah.
Right. No, absolutely. So where shall we direct people to shop SACRÉ, and where should people go to your website, right?
Yep. Go to Woodnose Drinks. You can also get it at other online retailers.
Right.
No and Low.
Food 52.
Food 52.
Right.
Sipple now in
Right.
Texas.
If you want to buy it in
store, you can go to Sipple. There's you can check out our website and our Instagram. We do announce there when somebody new is serving. And if you are in Canada and you're in the Quebec region, jump across the border and you can pick it up at our family farm to the destination and buy a bottle. And also there's many retailers in Vermont as well. You can pick it up.
The farm is only what, 45 minutes from Canada?
From the border.
Yeah, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, I guess, so my last question I'd like to ask is there anything that we have missed that you want to shout out about your baby here?
Gosh, I feel like we've said so much already.
I know. Yes.
We're always like, again, to just thank people like you, thank all your followers, thank our followers so much, because again, you know, we wouldn't be where we are today if it wouldn't for, you know, awesome people like you and you know, all the people who've just got us where we are. We're just so grateful. You know, we're just a small family business. It's us. It's me and Justin, and then the folks that do the farm stuff. There's no, you know, there's no board, or there's no, you know, there's no investors. You know, we're doing this all on our own, and so we're just so grateful whenever people are, you know, help us out. It's really amazing.
And if anybody has awesome ideas for cocktails, we would love to hear what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah.
We love mixing up our own, but neither of us are mixologists. So give us some inspiration, people. Show us what you can do with SACRÉ.
Yeah, we'd love to repost other people's recipes. It's so fun to see what people do with SACRÉ.
That's yeah, that's great. I want to see those too. If you tag on the mocks, we'll make sure to share them too.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are just wonderful people. I'm glad to know you. I'm inspired by what you've created, and I thank you for your time. This has been fun.
All
right. Well, I will see you guys online, and you know, to be continued.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.